Imagine waking up every month to find cash quietly flowing into your account, not from working extra hours, not from side hustles, but from simply owning pieces of strong businesses. That's the power of monthly dividend stocks. In this video, I'll share with you 5 of the best monthly dividend payers in 2025 that can help you build steady, predictable passive income, even if you're just starting with your first $100. We'll break down what each company does, why they pay dividends, how much you can expect if you invest $10,000, and the risks you need to know before buying. Let's dive in. 1. Realty income. First up, realty income, known as the monthly dividend company. If you've ever passed a 7-Eleven, a Walgreens, or even a Dollar General, there's a chance the building isn't owned by those brands. They rent them, and one of their biggest landlords is Realty Income. This company owns over 13,000 commercial properties across the U.S. and Europe. They focus on essential retail and service businesses, pharmacies, convenience stores, shipping centers, places that don't go out of business easily. And because they are a REIT, a real estate investment trust, they're required by law to pay out 90% of their income as dividends. So, if you invest $10,000 today with a current dividend yield of about 5.5%, you'd earn around $550 a year, about $45 every single month. That's your Netflix, Spotify, and maybe your gym covered, just from rent money flowing through Realty Income to you. What's the risk? If major retailers shut down or reduce locations, Realty Income could lose rent, but their focus on essential businesses makes them more stable than mall-based landlords. They've been paying dividends for over 50 years through recessions, crises, and even pandemics. 2. Stag Industrial. Next, let's talk about the giant warehouses that keep your online shopping addiction alive. STAG Industrial. Every time you order on Amazon or that package from FedEx arrives, it probably passed through a building owned by STAG. They own more than 550 warehouses and industrial properties across the U.S. Their tenants are not risky startups. They're big names in logistics, e-commerce, and manufacturing. Long-term leases, usually 5 to 10 years, make their income stable. Stag pays around a 4.8% dividend. So, a $10,000 investment would give you about $480 per year, roughly $40 a month. Not life-changing yet, but add more over time, and this can become a steady backbone of your passive income. Risk. If e-commerce slows or industrial demand drops, STAG's occupancy rates could fall. But with online shopping still booming in 2025, they're in a strong position. 3. Main Street Capital. Main Street Capital is a company that gives money to small and medium businesses so they can grow. Think about a local restaurant that wants to open 5 more locations, or a small factory that wants new machines. Many banks say no to these kinds of businesses because they are not big enough. This is where Main Street comes in. They give them the money, and in return, they earn interest, or sometimes even a small share of the business. This money that Main Street earns does not stay in the company. By law, as a special type of company called a business development company, they must pay most of their profit back to people who own their stock. That means you, the investor, get a part of that money every month as a dividend. So, what does this look like in real life? If you invest $10,000 in Main Street Capital today, with their current dividend yield of around 6.8%, you will earn about $680 in 1 year. That's around $57 each month. It is not a get-rich-quick number, but it is a steady, predictable payment. Risk. If the economy slows down and small businesses struggle, their loan payments could delay or default. But Main has been consistent for over a decade, even raising dividends multiple times. 4. Global X Super Dividend ETF. The 4th one on our list is not a single company. It is something called an ETF. That stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Don't let that scare you. An ETF is just a basket of many stocks that you can buy as one single stock. Think of it like a fruit basket. Instead of buying one apple or one orange, you buy the whole basket with different fruits inside. If one fruit goes bad, you still have the rest. SDIV is an ETF that focuses on very high dividend companies from all around the world. It has about 100 companies inside it. These companies come from different countries and industries: telecom in Europe, energy companies in Asia, real estate and utilities in the US, and more. Because it spreads your money out like this, you don't depend on just one company for your income. Right now, SDIV pays around an 8% dividend. What does that mean in real money? If you invest $10,000, you would get about $800 in 1 year. That is about $67 every single month. That is more than most savings accounts give you, and it comes in as cash you can use or reinvest. But here's the truth you should know. High yield also means higher risk. Some of the companies in this ETF are not as stable as the big names you already know. They might cut their dividends if times get tough, and the price of SDIV has gone up and down over the years. So it's great for people who want high monthly income right away, but it is not for someone who wants only safe, slow-growing companies. JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. The last one on our list is called JEPI. It is also an ETF, but this one is very special. JEPI is managed by JP Morgan, one of the biggest and most trusted banks in the world. What does JEPI do? It invests in large, stable U.S. companies. The kinds of names almost everyone knows: Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and many more. But here's the interesting part. JEPI doesn't just hold these stocks. It uses a smart strategy called covered call options to make extra income. Don't worry if that sounds complicated. Imagine you own a house and you rent it out to someone. That is your normal rent. But then you also rent out the parking space separately for extra money. That's what JEPI does. It collects the normal dividends from the companies it owns, and then it makes extra income by renting out the parking space. In this case, selling options. Because of this, JEPI pays one of the highest monthly dividends you can find in a trusted, well-managed fund. In 2025, it pays around 9% per year. If you invest $10,000, you can expect about $900 every year, or roughly $75 per month. That's almost like a small phone bill or grocery trip paid for each month, just for owning the fund. What is the risk? Because JEPI uses this option strategy, it doesn't grow as fast as a normal stock portfolio. When the market goes up a lot, you trade some of that big future growth for steady, reliable income today. But for people who want cash flow instead of waiting many years, JEPI has become a favorite choice in 2025. So, which one should you choose? Realty Income and STAG are great for real estate-backed stability. Main Street Capital is for those who want high yield from lending. SDIV spreads your risk globally. And JEPI offers one of the highest yields with a modern twist. If you invested $10,000 in each of these five, that's around $3,400 a year, or nearly $285 a month. And that's before reinvesting or adding more. The key is to start. Even if it's $100 or $500 at a time, the sooner you begin, the sooner those little monthly checks start showing up. And that's the first step toward true financial freedom. Remember, none of this is financial advice. Always do your research, start small, and reinvest your dividends if you want to build real wealth over time.